When I say artificial intelligence, what are the first images that appear in your mind? Do you conjure up metallic humanoids whose sole purpose is the destruction of Earth? If so, you're probably not alone. Luckily, you couldn't be further from the truth. AI is all around us, and I believe it's one of the most misunderstood concepts of modern technology and science, especially given that it will hopefully impact our lives by 2050. If AI is already part of our world, what's all the fuss about? Well, allow me to clarify. There are three main types of AI. The first, artificial narrow intelligence, weak AI, or AI, is the type of artificial intelligence that's been around for years. It's able to perform as well as, or better than a human at a single cognitive task. Some examples of AI include chatterbots, which are programs which are capable of, at least sometimes, imitating human conversation, driverless cars, which may be on our roads by 2020, and of course Siri, the innovative new AI that is capable of multiple tasks but is in no way an AGI. AGI is AI which will share with humans the essence of consciousness. They'll be able to set and achieve goals, be capable of human-like interactions, and indeed they will learn and they will think. We'll get to a point in time when the intelligence of these machines will match our own. In the 1950s, John von Neumann coined the term the singularity for when this takes place. We will then pass from AGI to ASI. ASI is simply AGI which has far exceeded the likes of human intelligence. And the reason why this is possible, why AI has so many outlooks, is one day we're going to be able to program computers that program other computers for us. And this is going to lead to what Recursive has called an intelligence explosion. As far as we can predict, the rate of growth of these AI is exponential. If one day we do indeed succeed in creating ASI, these supercomputers could solve many of today's biggest problems. Huge advancements would be made, for example, in the domain of medicine, where ASI can collaborate to find cures to cancer, Alzheimer's, and epidemics. AI could also be used to find diplomatic solutions to war and end world poverty. Computers already play a large part in space exploration, and AI would only benefit this. However, with such power does come huge risks. The biggest problem of all being a potential arms race of lethal autonomous weapons. Imagine the space race, global nuclear war, and undefeatable AI death machines all rolled into one. Certainly not good stuff. This is of course only in the wrong hands. Robots and AI will do whatever they are programmed to do. In the right hands, however, this would not be a problem. These AGI need to learn. They learn extremely fast, but they have to start somewhere. We would start them at a ground truth, the basic moral human code, and they would have to learn from there. A mythical controversy surrounding AI is that they will develop a conscience, realize that they are smarter than us, and then search to extinguish humanity from the face of the earth. Basically the plot of every Hollywood sci-fi movie ever. Well, this is just plain wrong. There is no reason that machines would turn malignant. The main concern is actually that they will misunderstand their goals. Let's borrow an example from Nick Bostrom. Say we were to give an AI the goal of creating as many paper clips as possible. This ASI could misunderstand and realize that it could take the iron from human blood and create even more paper clips. We therefore have to be extremely clear on what goals we set these ASI. We wouldn't intentionally go out of our way to harm ants, right? Well, we just have to make sure that the human anthill isn't in the way of where these ASI want to build their skyscrapers. Will we ever serve robots? I highly doubt it. But with intelligence does come power. That's why humans are the apex predators on Earth right now, not tigers. I'm sure by now you must be thinking, well, this is centuries away, sci-fi poppycock. And this is perhaps the most shocking part of all. This could happen within the next 40 years. Recursive has made a very optimistic prediction that we will have AGI by 2030, and by 2045, ASI will have solved all our problems. While most AI specialists seem to think that this will occur a little later, Kurzweil's predictions are not so absurd. Moore's law states that the amount of raw processing power on a microchip doubles roughly every 18 months. This seemingly cannot go on forever because transistors cannot become infinitely smaller, but we are already finding ways around this, such as with quantum computers. So what's stopping us from getting there? Well, we've already managed to create a computer which can match a human CPS, or calculations per second, essentially a measure of a human brain's brain power. The only problem with this computer is that it takes up 720 meters squared and uses about 1 billion times more energy than the human brain. This is obviously neither very efficient, practical, or mobile, so we more or less have the hardware already. The trickier part is creating the AGI itself. Creating an algorithm which can learn and improve upon itself, called self-recursive improvement, is very complicated, to the point that researchers have decided that it's going to be easier to base the AI on a human brain, called whole brain emulation. The process consists of taking multiple digital cuts of a brain and then mapping all the neurons. This has already been successful with C. elegans, a worm with 302 neurons. The human brain has over 100 billion, so it's clearly a lot more complex, but it's certainly a start. But once we do achieve AGI, and it's a when, not an if in my opinion, ASI will follow very quickly thereafter. Computers can already think 1 million times faster than humans can. From the stock markets, to the price of airplane tickets, to surveillance drones, AI already dominates our world. And who knows where that's going to leave us when this intelligence explosion takes place. Inventions and dreams that seem now unworldly, even impossible, might be within our reach in a very short amount of time. If one day we can't tell the difference between a human personality that's uploaded onto a computer and an ASI, should these ASI have rights? Will technological advancement ever play a larger role than biological evolution? In my opinion, it's a saving grace that we aren't technologically ready for AI, because from an ethical point of view, we certainly aren't.